Welsh winner, of course, of this title, but he's up against stubborn opposition in the shape of Barry Hawkins, who was runner-up in this event back in 2018. Still best of 7. Of the last 16 lineup, there are 6 top 16 players, 9 players who've won ranking events. There's also quite a few players from the lower reaches of the rankings hoping it could be their week. Remember Jordan Brown, he was in the 80s when he won this 5 years ago. So it's going to be a fascinating final few days, but let's see in this heavyweight clash who prevails. Mark Williams maybe hasn't been pushed that hard. Yesterday, Martin O'Donnell struggled badly against him. And Barry Hawkins, as he always does, has come through from the outside tables. He was actually taken to a decider in round 1 by David Lilley, but he made a century in that decider. But isn't it great to see that sea of faces watching on for what promises to be, I think, a really good day. We've got some great matches to come later, as was referenced in the studio, but this in itself, very interesting. And the head-to-head, Joe, I think is interesting as well. 10-2 to Williams. It's unexpectedly one-sided, isn't it?
Yeah, but a lot of those wins came in the early days, didn't they? I mean, it has been 4 years since Barry Hawkins has beaten him. And very recently, he won in the Players' Championship, Mark Williams, 6-2. As he misses that red on the way down, catches it on the way back. And an early chance for Mark Williams. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough match for both players. But obviously, Mark Williams, the favourite, with all those wins under his belt. Terrific atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a terrific venue, isn't it? Venue Cymru, and as I say, 2 tables taken out, so seats around either side now, most of which are full. And Williams first in after that error from Hawkins. Yeah, I'm sure the match in the Players' Championship fresh in the memory for both, because it was only last week, and Hawkins did struggle. Williams made a couple of centuries, 6-2 the result.
9.
Yeah, he played a lovely little cannon there on that cut back black a moment ago.
16.
Couldn't have played it any better. And that's what
17.
he's so good at, round the black spot area, just playing little cannons, getting good position, keeping it simple. Really good to watch.
24.
Any up-and-coming snooker players should take close watch on what Mark Williams does, and especially on his safety play, how clever he is.
25.
Normally takes all of the loose reds before he decides to go into them, but it's not the law with him, it's just how he sees it. Well, that didn't go according to plan. Put a lot of check on the cue ball, expecting to get the cannon to the pink maybe, or you just passed it, which would have given him choice of reds. But he's completely out of position. Look at the cue ball here, it just checks. And he put that side on purpose, but just got too much on it. And that is an error.
Mark Williams, 32. Touching ball.
Well, take that shot, for example. He didn't want to play off the pack but in behind the black, because he leaves an easy safety shot for his opponent. So he left the cue ball where it was, and Barry Hawkins has played that shot, which leaves an easy safety now for Mark Williams. He didn't want to play that shot. Just kind of fell into the trap there, Barry, but wanted to keep the game flowing. But he's in more trouble there than what he would have been had he just touched the white ball like Mark Williams did.
You can see the matches there in the last 16. got 4 world champions amongst the lineup. And, of course, after this match, it will be Neil Robertson against Jack Jones. Right now on table 2, Robbie Williams against Yang Jun. Different feel, though, isn't there? You know, with the 2 tables taken out, it does feel kind of more serious. And, of course, it is. Round by round, it gets more serious. Well, it's one of these frames where the 32-point lead isn't going to count for much where the reds are. If Hawkins can get in, what a chance.
Yeah, and that cue ball, not close enough to the cushion, is it? Barry looking at reds to both corners. Oh, terrific shot. In fact, we've got hold of it too much, really. This green is now tricky. But what a pot. Great action on the cue ball. You've really got to time those shots to perfection to get that kind of reaction. Does he take it on or drop him behind the green? I mean, if he drops him behind the green, that would be good. Decided to play positively, though, and take the green on. Now, is he on one? He is. Deserved to be. That was a brave shot to take on.
Thank you.
Dramatic start to last 16 now then here at the Welsh Open in Llandudno. Mark Williams stealing that opening frame in the end on the black. They both had a go at the pink, but he in the end potted pink and black. It's best of 7. And I can tell you on table 2, Zhang Jun of China, who of course knocked out Mark Selby earlier in the tournament, leads Robbie Williams 1-0. The winner of this match will play the winner of the next match on table 1, Neil Robertson against Jack Jones. Of course, it came down to the black, but Hawkins was in. He made 64. Just couldn't get on the last red. He finished straight on the pink from the penultimate red. Didn't have an angle to get on the red. Attempted to double it, and then we saw the safety battle that followed.
I tried to cover that red near the green. Don't think he can get to the potting angle. Not to the middle anyway. Yeah, not to the middle, but nearly to the corner. And very good effort that from Mark Williams. Played that cue ball into a spot where he wasn't leaving anything, but the ready was playing. Again, very clever shot that Mark played there.
He's looking today to reach ranking event quarter-final 122, which would actually bring him level with Stephen Hendry in 3rd place on that list. They don't play for quarter-finals, we know that, but even so, it just shows the extraordinary longevity at the business end of tournaments. And it would, in fact, for Williams, be an 11th Welsh Open quarter-final. He said in that interview with Rachel he's usually on the way home by now. It's not really true, that. he's featured plenty of times in the last few days of this tournament.
A little fortunate catching the red and the cue ball finishing tight under the cushion. A packed house again. Great atmosphere. Always well supported. The snooker in Wales.
Yeah, and this is the point Mark Williams made, actually, because Jackson Page and a couple of the other Welsh players, because all the Welsh players on tour are from South Wales, and they made the reasonable point, we'd like the tournament to be in South Wales, but Mark said, well, we get so well supported here, why would you take it away from Llandudno now? And also, it's a beautiful part of the world on the North Wales coast, the Great Orme. Of course, one of the great features
they're trying to work out a way where you can just land up to a red and not leave a possible pot on. And you can pop the red to the middle, but it's full of danger. I'd be surprised if he took it on. Don't want to go 2-0 down in a best of 7. There's the red. But as I say, full of danger taking that shot on. Catching the jaws of that pocket. Oh, can he pop this red to the left corner and get on to the black? Lots of pressure on this shot. Good pot, good kiss, and he's in. He was in the last frame, made 64. And a little unfortunate, like I said before. Finishing straight on the pink. No way to get to the last red. But he did have a chance after that.
Nine.
Well, I mentioned earlier, he's not had the best of seasons, 3 quarter-finals, but they're actually the 3 biggest ranking events. So he got to the quarters of the right ones, the Saudi Arabia Masters, International
16.
Championship, UK Championship, which got him into that Players' Championship last week, the top 16 on the one-year list. But to reach the Tour Championship, you need to be in the top 12 after
17.
the World Open. He's currently 15th on the one-year list, so he has work to do to make it to Manchester. Got to the semis there last year. He played terrifically well in that Tour Championship last year. Beat Sean Murphy 10-1 and Judd Trump 10-5.
Good results.
24.
And that's what he's capable, isn't it? You know, he's an understated character, Barry. He doesn't talk himself up. But as Mark Williams, I think, rightly said, you know, he's good in all areas. There's no real weaknesses. But as Alan McManus also correctly said, it's whether he can then go from that base level and raise his game when he has to. And he hasn't always managed to do that in the big finals he's been in.
Yeah, by technique, he's as good as you can get.
Well,
that was a little bit tricky. Had he caught the red on the cushion, it could have all gone wrong. But he just managed to miss it, and he's got choice of reds.
Well, he's still on the black. This is the 5th one.
Yeah, and keeping low on the black so he can get to the next red. If he's high, it's complicated with those 4 reds near the cushion. He's had 3 maximums before. But not interested in the maximum. I could have played for the black there. This is more important. Trying to level things up.
47. $48.
Yeah, we've still not had a 140 break actually in the tournament. 139 the highest in qualifying, Lu Haitian. 137 the highest at the venue, Mark Selby.
$55. $56.
Using the red to get out onto the black.
$63.
You can see the focus here because, of course, he got to about this stage in the last frame and ultimately didn't win it.
64.
But just a couple more pots needed.
Yeah, made sure he finished low on the black there so he could get to the next red.
71.
So thinking well.
Frame ball for one each.
72.
Yeah, he's took them well. Balls were well and truly open, but sometimes that can be complicated.
$79. $18.
Well, there's a lot of work to do, clearly, if he's going to make a 146, but the main thing is it's a clean kill. Much rarer break, 146, than 147.
Well, to be honest, I've never had a 146.
87.
Not even in practice.
There you are, then. It bears out what I'm saying. Yeah, there's been something like, I think it's 38 in
88.
tournament play, whereas we've had 232 147.
Yeah. Yeah.
$95.
Ah, the red stays out, but it's a fine 95, particularly the way he lost the first frame on the black. Barry Hawkins levels up at 1 inch. The Welsh Open, the final leg of the Home Nation Series, and of course the Bet Victor bonus prize will be decided this week. Mark Allen still out in front, but of course he's out. So Zhou Yulong and Jack Lazowski, the other two players who could win it if they were to get to the final. They're in the same half though, so clearly only one of them ultimately is going to have the chance to do that. Zhou Yulong plays Sam Craigie tonight, and of course Jack Lazowski at 7 will have his match with Jackson Page live for you. If you're a fan of safety play, maybe watch something else, because I don't think there's going to be that much in it. They're two real exciting talents.
Superb. Absolutely superb. Struck it so well. Sweetly.
If only his long game was still what it used to be. I mean, he can still knock them in, Mark Williams, can't he? My word.
Yeah, terrific shot. Needs another one now on the blue. Well, a little bit more pressure on that one.
Mark Williams won.
Though it looks like he's overscrewed the shot. had a look to see if the black was set to the pocket. Not quite set, but didn't really want to leave that black over the hole like that. The safety could be prolonged now with that black there. Two cushion escape. Very good at that sort of shot. Jaws of the green pocket makes things difficult. Yeah, just a little too far. He's allowed a return safety. Yeah, that was a good kiss. Left hawkins snookered. Playing the two cushion escape, but this is risky.
Found the miss. Mark Williams 4.
Yep, going back. A little far away from hitting the red.
Well, it'd be interesting if he misses again. I'm not sure if he can see one of the four full. Of course, if he could, then it'd be a warning if he misses again. We'll never know. But
No.
he's left it.
Yeah, and that was the danger with the two cushion escape. Look at the four reds just below the pink. He could have landed up into those four reds and not left anything at all. But by playing the two cushion escape, yeah, it's good when it works out, but now a chance. He'd like to get the black from this shot, though, and clear the path. Oh, if he can leave the cue ball where the red is.
One.
Yep, he can get through.
Eight.
Yeah, fortunate to have found the plant. And he wasn't sure, otherwise he would have played onto a colour. He's on one, but he played in behind the yellow there. Not happy.
No, he's clearly
11.
suggesting that flew off the cushion. He was saying yesterday he found conditions quite trying.
Mark Williams, 11.
So Hawkins believed that leaving that red to right middle has only cost him 11 points. Still in a bit of trouble here, though.
Yeah, very good safety, wasn't it? Come pot. Had it gone in, he would have rolled up behind the green. Doesn't go in, it's bang safe. Yeah, as long as he covered those two reds by the black, it was always going to be a good safety. Looking at the two reds by the black, one of them will pot, but it's ultra thin. Maybe just try and get in behind the yellow. Oh, great shot. Great shot.
1.
Always got the easy snooker in behind the green. Again, played it well. No big bounces that
From
time.
another side.
That's spot on.
5. Six.
the other Williams in the arena, Robbie, has levelled up with Zhang Jun at one apiece. He's quite a local man, actually. He's from the Wirral, which is not too far away from here. Robbie Williams beat Steve Maguire yesterday.
Yeah, taking this red releases the other one above it. Sometimes you think the red's just not going to get there, but it always does. Great touch. Yeah, he was going to give the game up a few years ago. So many people, including myself, so pleased he didn't. Not going to see his talent many times.
Yeah, I think he's a unique character, Williams. In terms, I was saying yesterday, in terms of his game, he mixes this sort of old school craft that he's learned from a young age with great invention. He's a great shot maker. His temperament is the best I think I've ever seen in snooker. His ability to just accept defeat and victory as if they're the same thing and move on. You can't rattle him, can you? You can't get under his skin. And because of all of that, he's very, very popular with the audiences. We heard the great cheer he got when he walked in. Not just because he's in Wales. We had it in Telford as well, actually, when they played each other last week. Whether he likes it or not, he's become a bit of a national treasure, hasn't he, Mark Williams?
Yeah.
And most importantly, Joe, still a top player.
Oh, make no mistake. You know, he says himself he's more of an all-round player now. Maybe his long potting isn't as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. But his temperament hasn't changed in all the years. Great strength. That temperament. So 60 points the lead. Just this pink and another red would be enough. And he's had to work on this break. No, great player to watch, even now.
18.
And you can still learn things from him by watching him.
So this red for a 2-1 lead. Yeah, terrific
51.
contribution. Of course, earlier this season, he broke Ray Reardon's 43-year record as the oldest ranking event winner at the age of 50. And you could see him extending that. John Higgins nearly broke it himself last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was only last year that he was in the world final.
57.
Yeah, and the thing about that, it was out of nowhere really, because his form going in had been very poor in the previous
58.
couple of tournaments, but it just shows you the Crucible is a different beast. And of course, he's won there 3 times. So that equals his highest break of the week.
Yeah, saving his
64.
best for last. And he's played superbly so far this afternoon. shot.
65.
Needs another. Beautiful. Right in the heart of the pocket from under the cushion. His confidence must be
72.
soaring.
And this is what has changed for Williams. I mean, years gone by, he wouldn't have bothered with the century, but he'll try and make it now.
73.
So Hawkins made that excellent 95 himself in the last frame.
He tried to nudge the blue out.
18. 81. 88. 19.
Yeah, coming back across the table to give himself a chance to bring the blue into
94.
play. Oh, what a
97.
wonderful shot. Gentle cannon to the blue.
Well, thank goodness he didn't back it in, because he's still got so much to offer this sport. Can he knock the blue in for the century? Of course he can. He's Mark Williams. Vintage. Go on then. Oh,
Yes.
the man's a genius. One-handed black. There's nobody like Mark Williams, is there? What a character, what a player. And what a break that is. 115 to lead 2-1. That was career century 690, his 22nd of the season.
And just crept in behind the green.
Two-one also to Zhang Jun, who we saw beat Mark Selby on the opening day. He's playing Robbie Williams. Yeah, the tournament, you can guarantee, is going to be full now for the rest of the week. Tickets actually on sale for next year from tomorrow. Of course, this Welsh Open, it is part of the Home Nation Series, but it was around long before then, 1992, first held. So it's the third longest running world ranking tournament after the World and UK Championships. Mark Williams would have made his debut a year later, 93. He's played in everyone since, as has John Higgins.
Yes, tough shot. And once you miss it, you're in the lap of the gods where the red's going to finish. So Hawkins with a chance. Just wonder if he'll play for that red just below the black. Just try and free the black. And that's all he's played on.
6.
Much time. Just hit the arm back.
It's been terrific as well, hasn't it? We had the black ball frame and then 2 big breaks.
7.
Yeah, this time he's got to leave an angle on the black to be able to play a cannon to the reds. He could choose the blue to go into the reds from.
$15.
So another red must go to that right corner. Pink going down onto the brown spot.
21.
So similar scenario. Got to leave an angle.
22.
And that's nice. Just try and find the gap there between the reds at pace. Well, maybe too hard. As the red goes, if it goes,
29.
all's well in the world.
$30. $37.
There's hardly anything to choose between the players this afternoon. Both playing well.
$38. $45. $46.
Coming down to this last ball. So has to leave an angle on the black. Try and open them. There is a red that will go to the baulk corner, but he needs to leave an angle for me. Try and disturb them.
$54.
And that's perfect. Not guaranteed to be on one here. It's not an easy pack to go into. But he's given himself a chance. And he'll be delighted with that.
61.
The two loose reds would be enough.
$62.
Well, after that scramble in the first frame, this is a match of the highest quality now. Just one chance snooker.
So he's going to need another colour now off the red, but it shouldn't be a problem.
64. $65.
Make sure of the blue rather than the split or the pink, whichever. Dangerous shot to play, the blue, because if it opens the reds and misses the blue, one snooker required.
Switch off your phone, please. 69.
Yeah, good break.
Barry Hawkins,
Danger
69.
just lurking a little though. As Joe says, just one snooker required, but good contribution from the Hawk. Mark Williams is actually colourblind, isn't he? So that brown. Maybe it's a good ploy getting the brown down there, because he might have to ask the referee, assuming he gets another shot in this frame.
Could have done without that kiss. He would have been bang on the pink.
Well, this has to go in, really, otherwise 3 snookers required.
Right in the middle of the pocket. As you say, that had to go in, so he's still got a life. Needs blacks
7.
with the remaining reds and one snooker to win by 1 point.
$8.
What about this for a shot? What about that for a shot? Terrific shot. Back on the red to be able to get back to the black.
16.
Yeah, he would have liked to have left that red near the brown. As the last red, because he could have laid a really good snooker. As it is, if he plays a snooker next shot, fairly easy to hit the red on the cushion.
$23.
Well, that was all or nothing.
Mark Williams, 23.
Well, if this goes in, it should be 2-2. And in it goes. Well, it's been high standard. And it's very much in the balance as we head into frame 5.
Barry Hawkins, 5. Frame conceded.
In fact, Williams says, don't worry about the red. Hawkins, who will play the winner of this one.
Quiet,
First frame
please.
was resolved on the black. Hawkins made a 95 break in the next. Williams 115, and then the 69 from Hawkins got him to the snooker's required stage in frame 4. Barry Hawkins, 94% pot success. You know, you think he might have won 4-0 with that, but of course Williams at the Players' Championship, after he beat Hawkins, he played Judd Trump, and his pot success, Williams, was 97%, and he still lost 6-3. It's not always about these bare stats. You have to delve into them. You know, obviously, sometimes breaks end not through missing, but through losing position. But also, in general, just the standard is so high. Some matches where you don't have to do that much wrong and you're out.
Yes, because Barry had a chance at the pink, didn't he, in the first frame? So could very well have been 3-1 up. But that wasn't a good safety shot from Barry Hawkins, leaving a chance at that red.
Five. Six.
Needs to keep running a bit.
11.
Developing more red, staying on the pink, maybe even the black. What a delicate shot that was. Did so well to hold the cue ball there.
19.
Judged to perfection.
20.
Yeah, it feels that within a few shots, he sort of got the table at his mercy. I mean, he's really fashioned this chance well so far. Certainly his best performance of the week. Doesn't mean a win, of course, but he's playing to a higher level than he was in the first 2 rounds.
27. 28.
Maybe he knows he's got to raise his game against Barry Hawkins. Knows how good he is and how well he's playing, actually.
Thirty-five. 36.
'Nothing he can do about it. It was a loose safety that he played. The cue ball should have been close to the cushion, just skimming off the pack. Left a half chance. And this is the result so far.
$43.
Now, as you can see, all those reds covering one another. There could be one that goes to the right corner.
49.
We'll see with this shot. There's one that will go to the right middle.
50.
Just saw a glimpse of it there. Could play for that one rather than risk going into the reds. Well, looking at the cannon, and if he got the cannon to the middle of those 3 reds above the black, he'd be perfectly on the red to the corner. Yep, great shot again. Judged to perfection. Look at this. The cannon to that
57.
middle red, leaving himself on this red to the right corner, and that could be and should be the winning shot. Well, looked easier on the overhead camera, but that's tricky. From there, it looks like he can get to it easy, but we saw he was at full stretch. Well, maybe the long spider.
This is not a shot you dream of playing when you get up in the morning.
What? Me? Sorry.
Well, he's saying the referee's moving in his eye line as if it wasn't hard enough to play the shot. Well done.
Yeah, I'll say. Where's a cue ball? Unbelievable. After all that, unbelievable. Great pot.
Hawkins pot.
But so unfortunate to have found the middle pocket.
Well, had the white stayed out, surely that would have been 3-2 Williams. As it is, he leads by 53.
Oh, great shot. Great shot. These two are providing some great entertainment. Great snooker. And the crowd absolutely loving this, as we are. But it's not a great table as yet. It can all change in one shot. Like so. Now, if he can get to a colour from this red, I'm sure he can. They are all there for the taking. And then it's about nerve.
Nine.
And what a steal this would be, and how unfortunate for Williams. Talk about snooker being cruel.
14. $15.
This is the shot. What a pot
21.
that was. And how unfortunate that was.
22.
Well, you'd rather be Hawkins right now in this frame.
$28. $29.
And he could get to the red.
36. $37.
And as long as you can keep the cue ball like that, perfect position, shouldn't be a problem. He got in with a
42.
great red, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, for all that Williams was unfortunate, as you say, it was a cracking pot from
44.
Hawkins. I think this has been one of the best matches we've seen all week, hasn't it?
Oh, for everything. Safety, potting, break building.
And that bit of drama as well, the unexpected twist here and there. We've seen one in this frame.
47.
Needs the pink to take a 3-2 lead.
$51. 56.
So Mark Williams, a little unfortunate to going off, but a great red from Hawkins to get in. He needs the pink, and he's in front for the first time. Another fascinating frame and a great steely Barry Hawkins clearance that. He leads 3-2. Mark Williams trailing 3-2 after another dramatic frame. Hawkins with an excellent dish there of 62. So he needs one, Williams needs them both to advance to the quarterfinals and play either Neil Robertson or Jack Jones, and they're up next on this table.
Yeah, we talk about Mark's quality in forgetting about adversity, things that have gone wrong. Well, that was an absolute belter that went wrong. Can he put it out of his mind? Leading on the safety success there. Close. No cigar. Ahead on the long pot success as well. Yeah, spotted that plant, used another ball to knock it in. And that couldn't have landed any better. I think he can get to the black with the help of a little nudge on that red. Yeah, you can just about see it. Well, it's good to see Barry Hawkins playing at this level again. Been a great player. Always good to watch, always attacking, good safety player. Good all-round player. He's been mentioned as the player's player, all-round player. I wouldn't disagree with that. He's got it all.
Maybe that's why it's surprised he's only won 4 ranking titles. I say only, that's more than a lot of people have won, but considering all those tributes have been paid to him there.
Yeah, I think maybe the only fault is that he doesn't do it right at the back end of the tournaments, semi-finals and finals. But obviously, you're playing somebody at the really top of the game like you. So it is difficult.
Well, he's been in 12 ranking finals, which in itself is an achievement. But as I say,
17
trophies come close. Of course, world finalist, 2 Masters finals. He's been in the UK final as well, so he's been in the big 3 without quite landing one of those major trophies yet.
Oh, how close was that? Oh, that was close. Well, it was a good split, but is he on anything easy? That red near the left corner is not easy at all. He'd like another one. Well, if this goes through the gap, no. But that puts him back in amongst them. Well, it's a great chance now.
Yes, he would have been very unlucky to have knocked that red in. But little bits of running play a part in the last frame. It didn't go for Williams. And he'll be concerned now, looking at the table and looking at who's at the table, that he might have played his last shot in this year's Welsh Open.
28.
And if he does lose this afternoon, it doesn't feel like he's done much wrong.
No, not at all.
29.
In fact, really, he didn't do anything wrong. It was luck that played the part there. But now it's in Barry's hands. One good positional shot here on the black, fairly straight.
36.
And he's got the red above the black next shot, and that frees things.
$37.
Yes, I mean, it's a sort of standing joke that Barry comes through under the radar, but it really says a lot about him as a person. You know, he never says the wrong thing, never does the wrong thing. He's never in the headlines for reasons other than his playing. Just keeps his head down, pots balls. Doesn't scream up when the luck goes against
44.
him. Doesn't complain about things. But today he's been really impressive. And I guess having lost heavily last week to Williams, he knew he would have to improve in all areas, and he has done.
45.
Yeah, the red nearest the left corner favours the left-handed player. So there's always that there as a backup. But he couldn't have played that any better. Stunned to the cushion with left-hand side on the cue ball to finish absolutely plumb on this red. That was a very good shot.
Yeah, and you saw from that graphic, he's only missed 4 pots. And of course, one of them was the pink in the first frame. But very little of significance since.
Yeah, that hasn't gone according to plan. Dangerous times these now because there's nothing safe.
Well, that little facial expression told you what he thought of it, where he's left this white hampered.
Yeah, very tricky this. Yeah, well played. Well played. And on the black, that was tricky. Had to drop it in dead weight to be able to be on the black.
Well, Mark Williams has played his best snooker of the week, but it may not be enough now. 2 more pots required for Barry Hawkins. It's been a terrific match, this. They've both played their part.
68.
Williams was unfortunate in that last frame for sure, but Hawkins, let's not forget, he got in with a great red. He made the clearance.
69.
And in this frame, he's been completely dominant. One of his best performances this, the whole season. And he's going to be through to a 4th quarter final of the season. This was the last frame. What happened? He obviously put so much
76.
into the pot with the spider, with the extensions, and then saw the cue ball drop in the middle pocket.
77.
Even then, he probably didn't expect the clearance because it was a terrific red that Barry got in with. And then had to play a cannon into the reds. So he has played exceptionally well, there's no doubt about that. And it's great to see. Because he's such an asset to the game when he's playing at his best. It won't matter.
No, a terrific 84 to end an excellent match full of drama and high-quality snooker. Mark Williams did very little wrong, but the Welshman departs his home event. It's Barry Hawkins, the winner, 4-2.